Picture this. It's 4 days before the most watched royal wedding of the decade, and somewhere in Kensington Palace, Meghan Markle is sobbing on the floor over a bridesmaid's dress. Kate Middleton's harsh text about Princess Charlotte's outfit has just shattered what should have been a moment of joy. But here's the shocking part. This wasn't Kate's first clash with one of Harry's girlfriends. Welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, where we uncover the stories the palace doesn't want you to know. What if I told you there's a disturbing pattern that goes back over a decade? What if Kate Middleton's icy treatment of Meghan was just history repeating itself? Today we're exposing the truth about Kate's secret war with Prince Harry's women, from Chelsy Davy to Meghan Markle. The revelations will change everything you thought you knew about the perfect Princess of Wales. Before we dive into the Meghan drama that dominated headlines, we need to go back to 2004. That's when Prince Harry first began dating Chelsy Davy, a vibrant Zimbabwean socialite who would be part of his life on and off for 7 years. Royal author Katie Nicholl, who has unprecedented access to palace insiders, revealed something fascinating in her book, Kate, the Future Queen. According to Nicholl, Kate Middleton's difficulty connecting with Harry's girlfriends didn't start with Meghan. It began much earlier with Chelsy. Nicholl writes that Kate had made genuine efforts to befriend Chelsy early on. She even invited her clothes shopping, a classic bonding activity that Kate often used to connect with other women in her circle. But here's where it gets interesting. Chelsy turned down the invitation. Now, on the surface, this might seem like a simple scheduling conflict or personal preference. But according to Nicholl, this rejection created what she describes as a coolness between the two women that would define their relationship for years to come. The author describes their dynamic as lukewarm at best, noting that their personalities simply didn't mesh. While Kate was becoming increasingly polished and royal-ready, Chelsy maintained her free-spirited, independent nature. Interestingly, Chelsy got along much better with Kate's sister Pippa, suggesting that the issue wasn't about Chelsy being antisocial, but rather about a fundamental incompatibility with Kate specifically. Despite their rocky start, there was one moment that brought Kate and Chelsy together, and it reveals something crucial about both women's characters. In 2008, at Peter Phillips and Autumn Kelly's wedding, both Kate and Chelsy found themselves in the terrifying position of meeting Queen Elizabeth II. According to Nicholl, Kate was actually grateful that Harry and Chelsy had been invited to the wedding because she didn't know many of the guests. This moment of shared anxiety seemed to temporarily bridge the gap between them. Here were two women, both dating Windsor princes, both nervous about making the right impression on the most important woman in the royal family. For a brief moment, their common ground overshadowed their differences. But perhaps the most telling incident that shows the complexity of their relationship happened around Kate's 2011 wedding to Prince William. According to royal sources, Chelsy actually helped Kate save face in a potentially embarrassing situation. The story goes that Prince Harry was preparing to make a speech at the wedding reception and had included what sources describe as a racy joke about Kate's killer legs. Recognizing that this might not land well with the formal royal crowd, Chelsy quietly asked Harry to tone it down. This small act of consideration shows that despite their lukewarm relationship, Chelsy respected Kate enough to help her avoid an awkward moment on her wedding day. It's worth noting that Harry and Chelsy's relationship ended shortly after William and Kate's royal wedding in 2011. Many royal watchers have speculated that seeing the pageantry and restrictions that came with royal life helped Chelsy realize it wasn't the path for her. But the pattern that Katie Nicholl identified Kate's difficulty connecting with Harry's romantic partners was about to repeat itself in a much more public and dramatic way. Fast forward to 2016, and Prince Harry meets Meghan Markle. From the very beginning, this relationship was different. Meghan was older, divorced, American, and came with her own successful career and strong opinions about how things should be done. According to multiple sources, including Prince Harry's own memoir, Spare, the tension between Kate and Meghan was evident from early on. But unlike with Chelsy, where the issues seemed to stem from personality differences and social awkwardness, the problems with Meghan appeared to run much deeper. Harry reveals in his book that Kate was concerned about the inevitable comparisons between herself and Meghan. Think about it, here was Kate, who had spent years carefully cultivating her image as the perfect future royal, suddenly faced with a sister-in-law who was confident, outspoken, and unafraid to challenge royal protocol. The most famous incident, of course, is the bridesmaid dress fitting that took place just 4 days before Harry and Meghan's 2018 wedding. Harry describes finding Meghan on the floor, sobbing after a text exchange with Kate about Princess Charlotte's dress being too big, too long, too baggy. But what's particularly revealing is Harry's account of smaller incidents that show the ongoing tension. He describes a moment when Meghan asked to borrow Kate's lip gloss. Harry writes, "Kate, taken aback, went into her handbag and reluctantly pulled out a small tube. Meg squeezed some onto her finger and applied it to her lips. Kate grimaced." Harry characterises this as a small clash of styles, but it speaks to something much larger. Two very different women with very different approaches to life, forced into a family dynamic neither was prepared for. So what's really going on here? Is Kate simply someone who struggles to connect with strong-willed independent women? Or is there something more complex at play? Royal experts suggest that Kate's position in the family creates unique pressures. As the future queen, she's had to learn to navigate incredibly complex social and political situations. She's spent years perfecting the art of being agreeable without being controversial, diplomatic without being fake. Both Chelsy and Meghan, in their own ways, represented something that might have been threatening to Kate's carefully constructed persona. Chelsy was carefree and spontaneous in ways that Kate couldn't afford to be. Meghan was professionally accomplished and outspoken in ways that the royal family traditionally hasn't encouraged. There's also the factor that Harry himself points out. Kate knew that comparisons between her and any woman Harry dated seriously would be inevitable. The British press loves nothing more than pitting royal women against each other. And Kate had already experienced this with her sister-in-law comparisons when she married into the family. What's fascinating about this pattern is what it reveals about the impossible position that royal spouses find themselves in. Kate has been praised for years as the perfect royal wife, gracious, beautiful, and seemingly effortless in her role. But these stories reveal the very human struggles beneath the polished exterior. The truth is that Kate was still finding her footing in the royal family when both Chelsy and Meghan entered the picture. She was learning to balance being genuine with being appropriate, being friendly with maintaining boundaries, being welcoming while protecting her own position. It's also worth considering that the royal family, despite all their wealth and privilege, operates like many families do when it comes to interpersonal dynamics. Sometimes personalities just don't mesh. Sometimes people feel threatened by others who are different from them. Sometimes good intentions get lost in miscommunication and misunderstanding. The difference is that when you're royal, these normal human conflicts play out under intense media scrutiny, with every gesture analysed and every interaction dissected by experts and tabloids alike. Today, of course, the relationships look very different. Chelsy Davy has moved on completely, building her own life and career far from royal circles. She's maintained a respectful distance and has generally avoided commenting on her time dating Harry. Meghan and Harry, as we all know, stepped back from royal duties and moved to California. The relationship between the Sussexes and the Wales family remains strained, with very little public interaction between Kate and Meghan since 2020. But understanding this pattern, Kate's historic difficulty connecting with Harry's partners, gives us important context for everything that followed. It suggests that the problems weren't necessarily about Meghan being American or divorced or an actress. They were about deeper personality and lifestyle incompatibilities that had shown up before and might well have shown up with anyone Harry chose to marry. So what do we make of all this? Katie Nicholl's observation about Kate's pattern with Harry's girlfriends doesn't excuse anyone's behaviour, but it does help us understand it within a broader context. Perhaps the real lesson here is that being royal doesn't make you immune to the same interpersonal challenges that affect all families. The difference is just that when you're in the public eye, every awkward moment, every personality clash, and every family disagreement becomes fodder for headlines and speculation. What do you think? Was Kate's behaviour toward Chelsy and Meghan a result of personality differences, royal pressures, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you found it interesting, subscribe for more deep dives into royal family dynamics, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Thanks for watching Meghan and Harry Tales. I'll see you in the next one.